Welcome to the live session, which is only running 30 minutes late. So if you guys look at the schedule that's there on the cook page, it will say 4:30, there's a trivia sort of quiz session. That's what I'm going to be hosting right now. And today, exactly what we're doing this entire day, if you haven't seen by now, is that we have launched 3 new biryanis today, and we're calling that combo as the 3 States 2.0 Biryani Edition. 2.0 because we already did a 1.0 edition and we had 3 masalas from 3 different states, and this time we're doing 3 biryanis. Donna biryani from Karnataka, Hyderabadi biryani from Andhra, and Talasheri biryani or Malabar biryani as we are calling it from Kerala. So these are the 3 biryanis we're launching, and if you are somebody who is already excited and you want to buy the products, all you have to do is remember shop.cooktv.com. It's really simple. Or if you can't remember, the link is on our story, it's in our bio. You can actually click that and go and purchase the products. They are available 249 rupees onwards, and the best part is that today there is no COD charge. That is, you can buy the products cash on delivery without any additional charge. There is free shipping, meaning if you're buying a product for $2.99 or you're buying the combo or whatever you're buying from the website, is going to be without any extra shipping charge. So you just have to pay for the product. And yeah, we're really excited to be doing this today. Today is the first day of our launch. Some of our customers and people who registered got access to it yesterday. But today is the official launch. We launched at 12 p.m. And what the session that we're going to be doing right now is a quiz session with me. It's and I have a very special guest whom I will introduce in another minute or so. The quiz is mostly going to be centered around the same theme as 3 States 2.0, the Biryani edition. It's a movie theme. So we are of course going to talk about food because that's something that we do here. And apart from that, it's going to be an integration of food and movie trivia. It's going to be a really fun session. We'll try to keep it really short. And what I want from you guys is to actually participate nicely. Put down all your answers. As soon as you see the question, start answering it in the bar below. Let's keep this as interactive and fun as possible. So I think at this point, I'm going to bring on my co-quiz master and also my co-host for this session. So we're just going to send an invite for him or her to join us now. Yeah. So we're just waiting for them to join us. If there's anything that you want to know before that about the products, about anything that we do at Cook, please feel free because I have my phone. I'm going to be reading your comments and trying to answer them. So if you have any questions for me, please ask me. தமிழ்ல பேசுங்க. தமிழ்ல பேசலாம், ஆனா எல்லாருக்குமே புரியாது. So இங்கங்க நான் தமிழ்ல பேசுறேன், ஆனா majorly I'll try to keep this in English. ஏன்னா நம்ம guest is also not a Tamil speaking guest. Okay, so I'm not going to give away too much. அதனால அவர்கிட்ட வந்து நான் இங்கிலீஷ்ல தான் பேசிட்டு இருப்பேன். ஆனா இங்கங்க நான் I'll try to fit in some Tamil so that if you have any trouble understanding what I'm saying, கீழ அப்படியே comment boxல கேளுங்க and we will speak. What prize? Are we actually giving a prize, guys? ஏதாவது பண்றோமா?
People who are commenting.
Okay, so see, there's no prize for this specific session, Tanya, okay? So if you are someone who has been engaging with all our lives throughout the day, so we had 6 live sessions planned, of which 3 is over, right? This is the 4th one, if I'm not wrong. This is the 3rd one. So we have 3 more sessions left. This is the yeah. So this is the 4th one, and we have 2 more sessions left today. So if you continue engaging with us, and if you have been engaging with us from the morning, we're actually taking down your names. And at the end of the day, the top 5 people who are engaging with all our live sessions today will be getting a gift from Cook. So it's going to be a hamper worth 1,000 rupees from Cook for our products. So that is something that we're doing. But this entire session is just for fun, just so that you guys can participate, and it's actually fast as fingers wins. So if you are sending the answer quickly, then you're just the winner. It's as simple as that. Hi, how many questions? Let me quickly check that up. Somebody asked me how many questions are there. I already have it already here. So there is roughly about 15 questions. Totally there's like, yeah, there's about 15 questions that we have planned. And like I said, it's a mix of movie trivia and food questions. And food, that also I'm going to give it away. It's specifically going to be about biryani and movies. What is this actually? Okay, quickly, a quick recap while we wait for our guest to join. We're having a quiz. So it's going to be 20 minutes of just fun and nice conversations with my co-host slash co-quiz master. And today is launch day for us at Cooked, and we are launching 3 new biryanis as part of the 3 States 2.0 Biryani edition. So you can check that out on our website shop.cooktv.com. So I hope that answered your question, Jashvi. Your products are not available in local stores. Actually, Josh, our products are available in local stores. Depends on where you are staying. But yes, our products are available in local stores. And if you open our website shop.cooktv.com, scroll right to the bottom and click on store locator, you can actually enter your area and try to find the store that is closest to you. So I hope that's easier for you and you can actually find the store next to you. If you have any other concerns beyond that, please feel free to DM us. We'll help you out with whichever store is closest to you. But apart from that, we're also available on Swiggy, Blinkit and Zepto in select cities. So if you use these apps, you can also go on those apps and check it out. Sangeeta, thank you for saying that you're a fan. Thank you so much for the love. Fast quiz. Is our guest joining us?
Invite is sent.
Did you read? Can you just quickly give him a call and just let him know that we're waiting? And for those who asked how many questions, yes, we have about 15 questions in total. And we're just having a small delay because we're just waiting for our guest to join us as well. I'm going to have somebody who is a co-host with me, a co-quiz master in this segment. So we'll just give him a few minutes to join. Serving size, please. Interim. Nice. Lakshmi, you've asked for the serving size. So all of our biryanis typically serve 3 people. And you can get it in 2 variants, either with rice or without rice. That's something that you can choose, either at a price point of $249 or $299. So I hope that helps and you try out the biryanis and actually send your feedback. If you are somebody who's buying today, please send us the screenshots of you purchasing. Send us photos of the biryani after you cook them, and please feel free to send us good feedback. Good, bad or ugly, it's totally fine. We'd just love to hear your honest feedback about not just our biryanis but all of our products. Hi, Chef.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, Chef. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks.
So, Chef, I just held on to your introduction because I wanted you to join the session before I told people who you were. So, I just kept it as a suspense. I said that I have a co-host slash a co-quiz master who's going to be with me in this session. But I kind of refrained from revealing too much about you. So, I'm going to do that introduction right now. So if you see on screen, we have a really popular chef with us. He's Chef Chalapati Rao. He's a renowned chef and he's also one of the top 30 chefs in India. He's an entrepreneur as well, meaning he's a business owner also. He's a MasterChef Telugu judge, a TEDx speaker, and is also the owner of the restaurant Simply South. And one very interesting fact that I learned from Chef in the last conversation that I had with him was that he actually doesn't sell biryani in his restaurant because he thinks that Hyderabadi biryani already has so much popularity and it's already represented so much throughout the region and in other regions. But there are so many local pulaus that are there in the state where it's so underrepresented or so not popularized that he's taken it upon himself to kind of popularize these sort of dishes through his cuisine. He also would like to familiarize people with this cuisine. And if you actually follow him on MasterChef Telugu, you will see that he gives very interesting insights and he's a very, very knowledgeable person. So welcome, Chef. Thank you for joining us today for this session.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Perfect. So Chef, can we move on with the quiz? I am just going to display the questions on this. And just to set the context for those of you who are watching, Chef is going to be the quiz master for all the questions related to cooking, culinary and food, and I'm going to be the quiz master for everything relating to movies. So we're going to alternate taking questions, and Chef is also going to give us a little bit of insight about the food, share his knowledge, share his experience with us. So I'll be picking his brain a little bit throughout this entire session so that the conversation is fun and you guys get a lot of knowledge from this session. So moving on to the first question. Yeah. Which popular actor plays the lead role in the movie Avesham? So if you guys have actually been following our content over the past couple of days, you'd know that we use the reference of 3 movies, Avesham, KGF and Pushpa. Now what I'm asking you is, who is the lead actor in the movie Avesham? I think his name in the movie is also Ranga Chetan. So if you guys have watched the movie, start commenting below. Okay, there are a lot of answers. I don't think I should bother spending more time on this. At least 15 of you have already said Fahad Fasil. So I'm just going to move on to the next question and of course show the answer here. Can you just press next when I tell you? Cool. So now we can move. Yeah. We can move on to the next question.
Done.
What weapon does Rocky famously use in the iconic fight scenes in KGF? Like the most iconic scene, even if you haven't seen the movie, you would have definitely come across a clipping of this weapon that Rocky Bai uses in the movie KGF. If you know the answer, please comment below. Okay, someone said hammer. It's not a hammer. Okay, Ilavarasan Prince. You answered it correctly first because the answer completely aligns with what I have written. It's a machine gun. Somebody had also mentioned AK-47 above, but no, it's not an AK-47. We're going to go with machine gun for this answer, and Elavarasan has given us the right answer. Now moving on to the next question. Finally, chef can step in here. Thank you so much.
Okay. Can you just read out the question, please?
Sure, chef. Which unique type of rice is traditionally used in Malabar or Talasheri biryani, giving it a distinct texture and flavor?
It's usually a small short grain rice, which is called as a kaima rice, which is used because of its flavor, aromatic flavor, what it gives to the biryani. So down south, usually it's the short grain rice, which is more popular because we grow a lot of varieties of short grain rices in south. So one of this is a kaima rice is what I feel.
Alright, chef, we'll move on and we'll look at the answer. I don't think there's any way in which you can be wrong, so it's definitely Jeerakshala or Kaima rice, which is an alternate name. Chef, you had mentioned when I was speaking to you on the call, there are a lot of the pulavs that you make are also made with short grain rice, right? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, there are plenty of varieties of short grain rice, like in Andhra and all, we use something called chitti mutyalu. Chitti is small, mutyalu is like pearl. That's how the rice got its name. And most of the pulavs down in Andhra are done with that kind of variety of rice, chitti mutyalu. There is another rice like Zira Samba, what we call it in Tamil Nadu, what we get. Ponni is another variety of rice. There are plenty of Sona Masuri is Karnool Sona Masuri is another variety of rice. Nellore short grain rice is very popular, but most of it gets exported. We don't get to eat here.
Okay.
So there are very lot of varieties of rices which are grown down south, and every rice variety has its own speciality, its texture, aroma, and flavor.
Thank you, chef. Moving on to the next question. In KGF, what is the name of the gold mine that Rocky Bai is out to conquer? Again, if you guys know the answer, you should be commenting that right now. In the movie KGF, what is the name of the gold mine that Rocky Bai sets out to conquer? So I did see, Ilavarasan, I don't know, I think you watch a lot of movies because you answered correctly first again. It is the Kolar gold mine. So we'll show the answer on the screen right now. Okay, there are a lot of people who followed up with that, but yes, the correct answer is the Kolar gold mine. And Ilavarasan has fastest fingers again. He's answered correctly the first. Moving on to the next question. In Avesham, the protagonist, which is basically the lead actor or the hero, his character is known for his distinctive style and mannerisms. Like his entire behavior and the way that he acts is like very peculiar, very interesting. But one accessory is his trademark, and he wears / uses that accessory throughout the entire film. Can you guess what that accessory is? What is that one accessory that the lead actor in Avesham always has? Okay, I think this time oh my god, this dude is really quick. I don't know, he's answering everything correctly, or I don't know if his internet connection is the best and he's able to hear me first, I don't know. But it's Ilavarasan again, and he said the correct answer. It's a gold chain. A lot of people have said gold chain after that, of course. There's Aki Lukos, Un Thoran, Sunshine, Samita Dinesh, Amno, Harisai, Surya. Yep. Okay, there's a lot. Basically, there's a lot. If I'm going to read all your names, then we're going to waste a lot of time here. Moving on to the next question. Again, back to Chef. Chef, I'm going to read out the answer. I'm going to read out the question for you. Hyderabadi biryani is famous for its rich flavors, but it's also served with some very flavorful accompaniments. What are they?
Usually it is served with mirchi ka salan and raita. The best part about the mirchi ka salan is the salan which is fried in that oil. The same oil is used for cooking of the salan.
Okay.
So what is the advantage of that? When you fry the chilies and green chilies and remove it, they impart flavor to the oil. So that flavor remains through the entire mirchi ka salan.
Understood, Chef. Now, how would you describe like a very good mirchi ka salan, Chef? What are like the base flavors, and what is the right way that it should taste like?
So the basic flavor of mirchi ka salan, it has a dry coconut and very nutty flavor.
Okay.
Because they use peanut and white tail, all that is used in that. So it has a very nutty flavor. Light, how do I put it? It's yellowish in color, and it blends very well with the biryani.
Okay.
And it's not only mirchi ka salan, there are variations of it. You can do a mirch bangan ka salan where you add a eggplant to it, or you can just do a eggplant salan or bangan ka salan. That's the way it is done. As I said, the oil in which they are fried, that plays a very important role because it imparts a lot of flavors.
And what oil is typically used, Chef? Do they use groundnut oil, or what oil is typically used?
Oh, fantastic question. See, down south there are various kinds of oils which are used from groundnut oil to till oil, which is sesame oil, to coconut oil. These are predominantly oils which are used across the south of India in their cooking. So it's usually a groundnut oil. So these days what happens is a lot of people opt for a refined oils, but usually the cold pressed oils are the better ones to be used to get the right flavor and all. It's the groundnut oil what is they use. Specific dishes use sesame oil. In down south, down in Andhra and things like that, they use more of groundnut oil and sesame oil. When we move towards Kerala and the Karwar coast or the Mangalore coast, there we use the coconut oil, which is known that most of the dishes are made from coconut oil, and coconut oil is one of the superfoods. That's what we consider these days.
Thank you, Chef. Perfect. Of course, the answer is going to be right. There's no point in questioning you. Just love to hear the insights from you always. Mirchi ka salan and raita it is. Down here in Tamil Nadu, we don't have anything like a mirchi ka salan. I think our enna katrika is quite similar to the preparation of that. But apart from that, here with biryani, we just do typically like a very tamarindy, sour preparation that's made with brinjal only. But it's completely mashed up. It's almost like a bharta visually, but then it's not a bharta in terms of preparation. So I think we definitely have two very different styles of brinjal that's prepared and served with biryani in both the regions, be it Tamil Nadu or be it Andhra, Telangana.
Sorry, even in mirchi ka salan, they do use tamarind. See, the
Right.
best part is most of the ingredients across south are common. it is just how you treat each ingredient that gives the variation to the dish. And
Right,
that
chef.
imparts a
Absolutely.
different flavor, different taste, texture, everything.
Absolutely, chef. So, moving on to the next question. Who composed the music for the movie Pushpa the Rise, delivering chart-topping hits like Shrivalli and Oo Antava? So, if you guys know who the composer for these hit numbers are, comment them below. Okay, I already have an answer. I think somebody read it, and let's see who it is. Oh my god. See, you know what? Ilavarasan, you are just the default winner, okay? I'm not going to announce your name anymore. You are going to be the default winner, and I'm going to give other winners who are commenting after you, because you definitely have the fastest fingers, and most of you have got it right. A lot of you have commented DSP. Of course, that's just short form for Devi Shri Prasad. So for those of you who got it right, good job. Let's move on to the next question. What is the name of the love interest of Pushpa, played by Rashmika Mandana in the movie? Now, this is probably the most easiest question in all of this quiz. And if you don't know the answer already, it was literally there in the previous question. But anyway, I'm going to ask this question. The first answer is already here. Like I said, default answer. But the second person who answered it is Ragini, and it is Srivalli. A lot of you have, of course, got it right after that as well. So moving on to the next question.
Kavya Netra said.
Kavya Netra said it first on YouTube. Yes. Thank you, somebody different. No, of course, people who are winning, I'm so happy that you guys are playing, because you are quick. You're super quick. You are answering faster than I even wrote down the question. So yeah, good job. Moving on to the next question, of course. Hyderabadi biryani has two popular styles. One where the meat is marinated and cooked with raw rice, and another where both are cooked separately and layered. What are these styles called? Chef, can you tell us a little bit about this, please?
Okay, when the meat is marinated and cooked, it's called kachi gosh ki biryani. Rather than what they do is they put the meat, marinated meat, on top of it they put the other spices, and then put the layer of rice, again meat, again rice. That's the way it is done, and that's why it's called kachi gosh ki, as the name specifies. Kachi gosh anna vere one illa, it's the raw meat.
Right.
So adigda kachi gosh ki biryani ne solluvam, because it's raw meat. Ade pakki gosh ki biryani anna, when the mutton is done or cooked separately, adi and the rice, when they're mixed again in layers, that's called pakki gosh ki biryani. But Hyderabad is more known for kachi gosh ki biryani. Pakki gosh ki biryani is more of a convenience. The art of cooking the raw meat with the rice is where it lies. And Hyderabadi biryani has overshadowed lots of biryanis from India. The reason being because it's done kachi gosh ki, means it started as raw as possible. Only it's marinated and allowed. Then it's cooked
Chef,
on the
typically do we add any sort of tenderizer when we're following a kachi ghost sort of recipe? Would you recommend adding any sort of tenderizer in the marination?
It all depends on the quality of the meat what you're using.
Okay.
So it's a good question. I'll tell you the gosh or the goat or the lamb what we use here. It's called Telangana Potla. Why it's called Telangana Potla? And if you ask me personally, it's my personal choice.
Okay.
It's maybe the second best in India after Rajasthan goat.
Okay, interesting.
The reason being why I'm saying that is the flavor of that meat is so good because on the kind of the grass it grazes, the meat gets the flavor of it.
Okay.
So tender, it can be cooked fast. Depending on, as I said, what is the size of the animal you slaughter and you get the
right.
Meat out of it, all that matters. On that basis, you should use a tenderizer. Otherwise, generally, if the meat is tender and the meat is very good quality, you don't usually require a tenderizer. But,
and would raw papaya be sufficient, or is there anything specific that you would recommend, chef? Because curd is anyway a part of the recipe. So considering we
Yes,
have a
curd is
long
not a very
marination time
simple.
on hand, we can of course just leave it with curd and ginger garlic and the rest of the spices that we add. But if in case we're short on time, do you think raw papaya is sufficient, or would you recommend anything else?
Usually people do use a raw papaya to tenderize the meat. That's the most commonly or most easily reachable tenderizer. What they use in tenderizing meats, not only for the biryani, for the kebabs also they reach to
Right.
the raw papaya usually. But as I said, it all depends on the quality of the meat.
Absolutely,
The
chef.
entire, so you need to visualize what kind of raw ingredients you are using. The best of the raw ingredients what you put in will give you the best of the result.
And one quick question, chef. I think this is something that we also get asked quite often in our lives, and I want to put you on the spot. When you have raw meat, do you wash it or not?
Sorry?
When you're using raw meat, do you wash it first or do you not wash it?
You should wash it, but it depends on it's a lot. There's a lot of science behind it. What kind of place you are getting the meat, it matters.
Fair enough, chef.
So it's better to wash it. And in India, I would rather say you should apply some turmeric also if possible wherever in your marinade, because it helps in it's antimicrobial and antibacterial, so
Right.
it helps. I would suggest that. But
Thank
it
you,
all
chef.
entirely depends on from where it comes,
The
what
source
kind
of the meat,
slaughterhouse it's coming
absolutely.
from. Yeah.
Thank you, chef. Moving on to the next question. What is the subtitle of the sequel? Sequel means the movie that comes after one movie to Pushpa the Rise, which is basically the continuation of the whole Pushpa journey. What is the second part called? First one is Pushpa the Rise. Second one, the answer. Okay, first time somebody else has answered quickly. OG Alex commented the rule. Good job. Anyone on YouTube got it right? Rajalakshmi.
And before that, just fun, bro.
Just fun, bro. I don't know what your name is, but nice username. You got it right as well. It's called the rule. Moving on to the next question. Again, this I think should be fairly easy for most people who watch movies. Which Indian actress played the role of Reena Desai, Rocky's love interest in the whole KGF series? Basically, who is the heroine to the hero Rocky in the movies KGF? Any answers? No answers as yet. People are still answering the rule.
I mean, 11.
Yeah, okay. Perfect. So now it's a competition between Ilavarasan Prince and OG Alex because they seem to be answering the fastest now. And yes, the answer is Srinidhi. It's Srinidhi Shetty.
On YouTube, it's just fun, bro, and Netra.
Okay, so Netra and Just Fun Bro, you both are competing on YouTube clearly. So all four of you actually got the answers right. So good job on that. Moving to the next question and back to picking chef's brain. Can you just scroll to the next one? Okay. Donna Biryani is a popular street food in Karnataka and it's named after a traditional container that it is served in. Of course, the donne. What is this donne? Like this container, what is it made of? What is the material used to make these cups?
It's areca leaf, if I'm correct, Sanjana, because donne is up north also they call donne, which is a more like a bowl kind of a thing in which they serve food to eat and things like that. So in Karnataka also they make the bowl shape of with the areca leaf in which they put the biryani and they give it. That's how
Correct, chef. I think even if people haven't eaten donna biryani, you would have definitely at least eaten temple prasadam in that. So I think that's an easier way to get people to remember what it is. Most temples serve their prasad in this donna, specifically down south because you have a lot of rice preparations that is served in temples. Chef, do you have any specific experience with temple prasadams? Is there anything you'd like to tell us about that, or the generally like temple cuisine? Because recently you told me you went for a pilgrimage trip as well. So is there anything in the top of your head about temple cuisine?
Being very honest, Sanjana, temple cuisine is one thing which is a lot to be explored, and it is going to be the upcoming cuisine. There are temples in Bhubaneswar who do catering. Not only offering prasadam
Okay.
to the pilgrimage people or visiting the temple, they are doing catering outside,
Interesting. Okay.
kind of sattvic food. Sattvic food. So you can understand the kind of relevance being given to the temple food these days. People talk about temple cuisine, but a lot of work to be done about temple
Right.
cuisine, because each temple have a different prasadam which they offer. So all that have to be put under one umbrella and has to be showcased.
Absolutely,
I
chef.
think
And I
the
don't think even those
temples.
recipes, if you kind of unearth those recipes and when you're replicating at home, you never get the same taste. One, I think because of the volume that they cook in. Two, most kitchens still cook with firewood. Three, of course, they have such experienced cooks and chefs who are working in those kitchens for generations that I think it's really hard to replicate the same dishes, even if it's a puliyodara or a pongal or a shira or literally anything.
As simple as a puliyodara. As simple as puliyodara. What we eat in temple, we don't get the same kind of flavor or taste at home.
Exactly.
So I completely agree. And as you rightly said, they are mostly done on firewood. But now commercial kitchen moving slowly from firewood to be more sustainable in terms
Of course.
things to get. But the recipe or the ingredients or the quantity of the recipe ingredients, it's been handed over from generations to generations to still retain the sanity of the prasadam. That is what is making it so unique and different from rest of the food. To give you a small example, every restaurant has their own kind of a recipe, but in temples it's not that. There's only one recipe which has been followed from
Correct.
centuries together, and they continue to follow the same, so they get the right kind of taste, flavor, texture, everything day after day after
Right,
day.
chef. And typically, if I'm not wrong, like even the cooks are, it's mostly generational. There is no new person. It's always that the temple, kitchen lies with one family, and it kind of passes on from generation to generation as they teach the new generation to cook, and then they kind of take over. I'm sure that is changing now, but at least in the past, that is how they maintain the whole sanctity of the kitchen, I think.
Yes. And not everybody and everyone is allowed into the kitchen.
Right.
It's only that particular family which are making prasadam for the deity are only allowed into that space, and that's how it is been like through and through. But obviously, as now commercials, they are getting into commercial kitchens for more of sustainable reasons. So I'm sure things will change, but still, as I said, the recipes are still with the families who have been doing it, and they are passing it on from generations to generation.
Thank you, chef. Moving on to the next question. In KGF, in KGF chapter 2, second part, who plays the formidable antagonist? Antagonist is basically your anti-hero or your villain, Adira, bringing a Viking-inspired look to the screen. So Viking is that whole appearance of, the beard and the big build and everything. Who plays the role of that? I'm not going to repeat the question only because those 4-5 people who are competing are really at it. If you get the answer right, like hats off to you. Thank God it's a different person who answered. Aki, Lukos, Amno. I mean, you guys have also been getting the answers right. I have been watching you throughout. But you guys said it first. Sanjay Bhai or Sanjay Dutt is the right answer.
Netra and Just Fun Bro on YouTube.
Okay, and it's the same two guys on YouTube. Like, a good job to you guys. Moving on to the next question. Which famous Bollywood actress made a special appearance in the hit song Oo Antava from Pushpa The Rise? Again, this is a very, 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 very easy question. I'm not going to repeat it again. I can't believe somebody just said Rajinikanth. It's definitely not Rajinikanth, guys. Specifically, I said actress. And Amno got it right on Instagram. It is Samantha.
Netra and Just Fun Bro on YouTube.
And the same two guys on YouTube. Good job, guys. Moving on to the next question. Donna Biryani, chef, again bringing you in here. Donna Biryani is particularly popular in which region of Karnataka, where it is often served in military style messes?
It's Bangalore.
Right, chef. Chef, have you actually had the opportunity to try Donna Biryani? What are your thoughts on the flavor?
I did try Donne Biryani. We did make it also. So it's different in terms of first of all the color.
Yes.
It's very different from the rest of the biryanis. It is a very striking light greenish color kind of a biryani, and the flavor texture is very different. It has that leaf concoction what they use.
Yes,
It's a
yes, chef,
combination
you're
of
right. I mean,
leaves.
that green paste and actually maintaining that green color, I think even while cooking is one of the hardest things to actually perfect that whole recipe.
Yeah, and there are a couple of steps because you have to treat the green concoction separately. It has to be made separately. The other masala has to be made separately. It's very easy to eat, but it's a little cumbersome recipe. But as I said, it's very different in terms of the color, taste, texture because of that leafy concoction, which makes a hell lot of a difference.
Yes, absolutely. And for the people who are watching, you will see that a lot of places say Chickpet Original Donna Biryani. That Chickpet is basically just a region in Bangalore and it's very popular from there. Chef, before I let you go, can you tell me some of the most unique biryanis you've ever tried? It can be something that you guys make at Simply South, or it can be something that you've tasted in your travels. Can you tell me a little bit about some unique biryanis that you've had in India?
Uh, I am, to be very honest, one of the best, apart from Hyderabadi biryani, obviously, one of the best biryanis what I have eaten is from the Awadh region. That's the Lucknow, the Awadhi biryanis. I had the privilege of working with great Awadhi chefs, including Chef Imtiaz Qureshi.
Okay, okay.
So, yeah, so the kind of biryanis I've tasted from his family, this thing is outstanding. One of the better biryanis I've eaten. See, you get
Chef, and is that
biryani
style of
outside,
biryani
you
made
get
with a
biryani.
yakni?
Sorry?
In the Awadhi biryani, is that the biryani that you make the yakni stock and then you kind of flavor the rice with that?
Yeah. They make the yakni also. They make the rice separately and they cook the meat separately and they
Right.
reassemble that.
Okay, okay.
So the once they start assembling, they put the meat, they put the rice, they put the yakni, then they put the meat again, rice and all that. They reassemble it and put it on the dam. So it's just a very different, and not only that, they use lot of flavorings in terms of a kevda water
Yes.
or a rose water, more of a kevda water, and something called sweet ether.
Yes.
I don't know how do I put it. It's a fragrant, edible, like edible.
Exactly.
camphor.
It's like an edible
It's
perfume,
something
right?
very- Sorry.
It's like an edible perfume almost.
Yeah, it's like edible perfume. So when you actually open the dum, the aroma and the flavor makes you go gaga over it.
Chef,
So,
and just before you
that's-
probably wind up, I would also like you to tell us a little bit about Simply South and the kind of cuisine that you serve.
Yeah. In Simply South, Sajna, we do serve food from all southern states.
Okay.
And each state we dedicate few dishes. There's a name of the state given. Like we are based in Telangana, so the menu starts with the Prarambam. Prarambam is nothing but to begin with or starters, where you have a jumble from all states. Starters are there. Then you move on to the main course, where it is specially mentioned about each state and the specialities of each state dishes are there, featuring Telangana, Andhra, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, everything. Then we move to something called Sampurna Bhojanam.
Okay.
Sampurna Bhojanam is like a meal in a bowl kind of a thing, where you have your thali. Even our thali, the menu changes every day. We try to fit in dishes from all 5 southern states in that. Or a meal in a bowl concept, as I said, Sampurna Bhojanam. Like a bisi bele bath, for example, I'm just giving. It's
Right.
a meal in itself kind of
Right.
a thing. Or maybe a kuttu paratha from Tamil Nadu street food. Yeah. So things like that are featuring in that, which are fulfilling and all. Then we have something called on our menu is Maduram. Maduram is desserts, and then Paniyam, basically water and whatever.
Okay.
Next, that's the menu comprises of. one side of the menu talks about various histories or cultures of the state, and one side is the menu. So when you open the menu, one side is it talks about. If I can show you, can you give me a minute? If I can show you menu, is it okay?
Sure, chef. Please go ahead, because I think interim, even I can tell the audience that even at Cook, that's something similar that we're trying to do. Of course, we started off with Tamil Nadu, and we were doing the biryanis and the masalas from Tamil Nadu. But the intention going forward, and obviously the reason why we have this live, is because we actually want to take baby steps into our neighboring states in the south itself. That being Andhra, Telangana. Of course, that's why an expert like Chef Chalapati is with us. And it could be Kerala, it could be Karnataka. So these are all the regions that we want to try and get into, familiarize the cuisine. And of course, before we do all of that, it's more about learning the cuisine, working with the most authentic sources to unearth these perfect recipes, and then try to create products which will help us bring out the most authentic flavors of that state and not give like a very outside view of that state. So that's why we have experts like Chef here. And Chef, please, you can go ahead and tell us what you wanted to.
Yeah. So this is our story, how we started it. If you look at the old Simply South 11 years back, this is how we started. And there is a write-up about how we have done the Simply South. And if you look at it, so this is like Rangoli, what we do, Muggu in Telugu, typical. On one side, as I said, talks about the culture, traditions of the house and things like that. And then we have the soup and the starters. And then the second page, again, it talks about what we do early morning ritual, puja near Tulsi or whatever. And then we move on to the Telangana state, which is the gate of at Warangal. And that's how each state depicts. When we talk about Telangana, I cannot stay away from Hyderabad. So we have the Charna here and talks about it. And then we move on to the Andhra, the Godavari side of the Andhra, or the Konaseema and things like that. See the Rajahmundry Bridge, you can see. This is about Andhra Pradesh, and then we move on to the Kerala, the fishing nets or this thing are the Kerala, and then we move on to Tamil Nadu, the temples, as you can see.
Right, Chef.
Yeah, and this is how the entire this thing. And so there is the Karnataka Mysore Palace, and then there is how a thali of ours looks like.
Oh, very nice.
Sampurna Bhojanam, as I said, it depicts everything. Sampurna Bhojanam, which is a complete meal, and further we move on to the annams. Basically, the annams is nothing but staples. What we use, it can be a plain rice, it can be a paratha from Kerala, it can be a appam, it can be idiyappam, it can be jole roti from Karnataka kind of a thing, ragi, mudde, jole roti and all that kind of a thing. And then this is the madhuram or the desserts, what we do. And not to forget, the best part of it is we do celebrate all kinds of festivals. Be it a Pangani, be it a Christmas, be it a Pongal or a Sankranti, be it a Onam, everything we do celebrate.
Chef, that sounds like a complete experience, and I'm definitely going to drop in when I come there. And likewise, I hope a lot of the people who are watching this live session are also enticed by the way that you're describing both your menu, the food, the experience that you provide to people when they come and dine at Simply South. I, for one, am definitely going to come there during my next visit. And thank you so much for joining us today, Chef, and allowing me to pick your brain and just spend the time with us to give us some of your knowledge. I know it's a very, very minuscule part of what you know and how much we could pick off your brains today, but we'll definitely have you here more often. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Sajana, and thank you everybody for joining us.
Thank you. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's the session that we had today, guys, which was a quiz and trivia session as part of the 3 States 2.0 Biryani edition. I had Chef Chalapati Rao joining us as my co-quiz master and also as an expert in the field. So if you guys have any doubts on how the products are to be ordered, It is simple. It's just shop.cooktv.com. You can find the link in our bio or you can find the link in our stories. You can just click that. If you have any other doubt or queries, please feel free to DM us and we're happy to help you out. We have 3 biryanis, Dona biryani from Karnataka, Malabar biryani from Kerala, and the Hyderabadi biryani. Of course, it's going to come to you in this special little box, and that is if you order the combo. Let me also show you 2 really cool things that come along with it. You get a bunch of stickers in the whole movie theme thing. And a very interesting poster that comes along with it. We got this design. So this is something that you can keep as a collectible from Cooked. You can paste it at home, you can put it up on the wall, or you can just keep it with you honestly. Of course, the 3 biryanis are going to come in this box. And this entire campaign was movie themed. That's why we just had a trivia session of movie related trivia and of course food, because we are cooked at the end of the day. We'll see you guys very shortly in the next session, which is going to be connections.
Yes.
Okay, a game of connections. So stay tuned for a couple of minutes and come back and join us in the next live session. We'll see you there. Thank you so much. Bye bye.